Morning, garden friends. Today we're going to be getting some seeds started. One of my garden buddies had given me some butterfly milkweed, some ironweed, and also some swamp milkweed. And, native to Georgia, butterflies and pollinators just love it. And as you guys know, I try to introduce and keep plants that encourages the pollinators to come into the yard. I'm also going to be doing another batch of my cool season flowers, and these guys are going to go into the greenhouse. And this is my stock flowers and then also my Larkspur. I did notice over in the raised bed, that batch that I did in October, it's making some traction. I should have had, a flush month, but nothing came up. But you know what? That was something new that I was trying. But like I said, the plants are doing well. And then I'm also going to do some Lisianthus. I think this is just such a gorgeous plant to be able also to put in my cut garden. But these guys are going in the house because they require warm temperatures and lights. Now, because the butterfly milkweed has a trap root, I'm trying something different. Instead of putting it in the 2 to 3 inch cells, because they have the trap roots, I'm actually putting it in a bigger container. And what I ended up doing was I put a rope at the bottom to help with water, because they don't like to be sopping wet, but they like to have moisture. And I think by having it set up like this, it'll allow that constant moisture for them. And then I'm actually going to put the lid of the other cup to have that humidity. But what I did for air circulations at the tops, I snipped out 3 holes so that we have the good air circulation. So first things first, let me go ahead and get my butterfly milkweed set up. I got my soil, and for the seed starting mix, where's my scissors so that I can go ahead and get this done. And I still love this Jiffy mix. I find that my seedlings do really, really well because the mixture allows for a nutrient balance, moisture retention, and then also good drink. Water to get this wet. I'm not looking to have it sopping wet, just wet enough. Especially for these guys, since I am going to be watering from the bottom. And that was the one thing that with all of my trays, is just making sure to water from the bottom. Since some of the seeds stay on the top, I want to make sure that they're staying positioned where I want them. Like I said, you don't want it sopping wet, but you want enough moisture in here. Now this will be my first year or season for growing the milkweeds from seeds. Okay, so the consistency of where it holds together, but it's not like dripping wet when you wringing it out. Go ahead and get these cups filled. I'm really interested to see how, this ends up working. I got 5 cups that I'm doing, but I'm going to be putting multiple seeds in here. I think if there are things that we can do to help increase the bee polliny and the butterfly polliny, That's a good thing for us. Okay, so let's get the milkweed. Oh, those are iron. Butterfly. Let's see how. Oh, and these guys are a pretty decent size, so it won't be so hard in regards to seeing these guys. And I'm only going to put 4 in here just because of their trap root. So that'll give me about 20 plants. I'm just gonna push these guys down. No, I didn't push it down too hard. And then it'll make it a whole lot easier for watering, because all I need to do is lift up the pot and let the rope regulate the water to the roots. Okay, so those are those guys. I'll make my labels so that I know what they are. The Lisianthus, I think I'm going to put in this. No, I'm not going to put them in this tray. I have another tray that I want to put in. So I'm going to do the stock flowers and then also the Larkspur. And I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I'll be able to have 36 each. Tap it down, and that's to get all the air pockets out. These are the stock flowers. Now these seeds were really little. See that? These guys are really little. Get these guys covered. And I'm going to go ahead and get my labels done. So I have these guys marked, stock, and today is January 19th, 26. You know, and by recording the date that I'm planting these in here is for me to also be able to track how quickly these guys end up germinating. So, all right, so next is the Larkspur. And like I said, these guys are going into the greenhouse because they prefer the cold. And while I do have heat in there, all that does is just keep it above freezing. So now I think the Larkspurs are going to look really nice in the cut garden area. The milkweed, let's see here, the swamp milkweed and the ironweed, I think I'm going to do about the same that I did for the others. Oh, these are much bigger. And these seeds are a little different. They're more like bulbs. And get these guys labeled right quick. All right, guys, so I got these two flats done, and then these guys, I'm going to go ahead and get them into the greenhouse after I get these guys covered and watered in the bottom of the trays. Then I'm going to start on my Lisianthus. I'm also going to be doing some pin cushions, but those are going to be going inside the house. So let me get some more dirt mixed up, and then we'll get back on for those. Okay, so I went ahead and got the containers filled up for my Lisianthus and also my pin cushions, and then I'm going to also do some triple berry scabiosas. So I am loving the colors that it will end up bringing into the garden. This is the thing. Like I said, we're going to start with the Lisianthus and just some information in regards to them. These guys are very slow growing. They do require the light, and they're just going to get planted on the top, and I'm not going to cover those. Just some information I ended up looking up. So it takes 10 to 21 days to germinate. They will sprout mid to late February. I can transplant them 8 to 10 weeks out into the garden, and that ends up being past our last frost day. And they say around between April 10th to April 25th to go ahead and plant them, as long as the soil is above 60 degrees, and then I can expect them to bloom in June and July. So I'm loving that. I'm good with having the greenery, but then during later in the season, during the summer, to have these beautiful colors. Now, the scabiosas, the pin cushions, they will take 7 to 14 days to germinate. I bury them like 1/8 because they do need the light, which these guys are going inside the house under the grow lights and on the mats. And then these guys can be transplanted outside in 5 to 7 weeks. Once again, falls in line with after our last frost. And I believe that's like March 15th. But with this crazy weather we've been having, who knows? And then they will bloom in late May through June. But the one thing that I have found with the pin cushions and the scabiosas, as long as I keep deadheading them, they continue to bloom for me. Oh, I'm trying to make sure I am planting things to where I can have that continuous, blooms. All right, so let's go ahead and get the Lisianthus seeds in here. And man, these guys are so tiny. And I'm going to do a full tray of these guys. There's 12 cells. And I'm going to be transplanting these into my cut garden area. And of course, these seeds are tiny. Now, this is my first time growing these, and I'm just going to press them down to make connection with the soil. And then I'm going to mist these. And then they say to spritz them in the beginning, and then once they start to take root, bottom water them. And I got my tray that those are going to go in. Let me get the labels, because I can sometimes get sidetracked and forget to label stuff, and then I'm questioning what I planted. And I'm only going to make one tag, since this is a whole tray of them. And then I also dated it so that I can keep track of the germination. And then for the scabiosis, I'm going to do 2, 4, 6, 8. 8 cells of these guys. And the good thing, these guys, you can see these guys. And I'm going to put 2 in each cell, but give them enough space. And that's always to make sure you get something. Okay. And let's do the pink cushions. I don't know if I got enough of these. Oh, yeah, I do. No, I don't. Just another row of the triple berries, because I really love the color of them. Let me go ahead and get these guys situated and then the labels on them. Okay, so I got 3 of the triple berry. All right, and I'm just going to put a white coating on top of these guys. So, while these guys are going to be going up inside the house, I'm going to be utilizing my Vigo grow lights, and that room gets a lot of light in it anyway, along with utilizing the heating pads. I'm excited while I have, plants that I am doing from seeds in different locations. I'm excited to see how it ends up turning out. I got the stock and Larkspur in the greenhouse. I have the swamp milkweed and the ironweed here in the shed so that it can continue to go through the stratification because of the cold weather that we are going to be having for a while. And then these guys, like I said, to be able to go inside the house. And like I said, I'm interested to see how everything does, because this is the thing, just nature in general. Before folks started, doing seeds or plants from seeds, they were growing naturally out in the world, in the earth, So while techniques have been designed to help you be successful, I think I'm going to try to, aside from these guys, try to allow nature to do its job, So I'm really excited. Well, I'm going to go ahead and get these plants set up, and fingers crossed, because I'm always trying something, that I will end up having, a good turnout of these, because I think once they get added to the garden, it is going to look amazing. Well, guys, thank you again for visiting Inspiring Garden Corner. And if you enjoy my content, please consider liking, sharing, and subscribing. Until next time.